Yes, peace and blessings, and keep up the lessons. You know who this is. Your brother, Brother Talib from the Brother Talib Show, and also known as Crypto B-Boy, but this is the Brother Talib Show. And I'm back again, you guys. I know you guys probably wonder where I be at, doing videos and so forth in the Brother Talib's channel. But, I'm busy. I'll be busy with the other channel, Crypto B-Boy. A lot more going on there with the financial things that are changing through financial issues that are going on, crisis, a liquidity crisis in the world and globally, let alone in America. So, but we're going to be touching base on something that's very important and significant, of a great significance to people of color, especially African Americans, historically. And I'm going to be presenting to you one of my good brothers in the faith of Islam, but also a good brother in the community of the African American community that has been a pioneer in pushing forth, freedom, okay, freedom for our people, in inclusiveness in finance and ownership, and dealing with a diasporan type of great opportunity for a diasporan to go into the world outside of their realm of suppression that was in America, and knowing the history of slavery, right? And being able to have the chains taken off up here, especially because we don't have them down here anymore, really. We do that to ourselves in the communities that we stay in, and we just continuously, go at each other and harm each other, and we don't try to get past this bondage, this mental bondage, mental slavery, and go out of our area of our diaspora where we were forcefully put in, and returning either back to where we came from, but in establishing something there in the motherland in Africa, in the continent of Africa, but even going beyond those bounds into other areas that we can create, ownership, and have commerce that will give us a better position to sit on the table on an equal scale of things when it comes to dealing in a financial level, dealing in ownership, dealing in freedom of our liberty and justice for ourselves, to be able to have sovereignty of within our countries in the continent, or freedom to be able to do and to control our environment in various levels, whether it's infrastructure, so forth, or what have you, agriculture, raw materials that is in the ground in that land, and not being siphoned out by people who want to control it for their betterment and their power and so forth. These are the changes that are going on. So this brother has took a real strong role and did a lot of work, and he deserves a lot of recognition and respect due to him. And all respects and shout outs to my man Faruq Hunter. This is for Freedom Nation, and I want you guys to see what he has done, okay, and what he's talking about. And I'm going to get a little bit into some of what he's saying. Not going to let the video go all the way because it's more than, I think it's about 50 minutes, but I will break into some of the areas and touch on some of what he's saying, and we'll try to stay within 30 minutes, if not less than that. Okay, so let's get in. All right, just give me a second and I'll pull it up for you guys. Hold on. Alrighty, and let's get him going, man. Let's get the brother going. All
right. Now this is something new. I have never done this kind of format with the stuff in front of me. I'm going to move my keyboard up front, and I'm going to do an unboxing. I've never done an unboxing because I've never had anything unboxed. But today, I want to announce a literally historical moment. And I'm going to announce the moment, the first, and I do mean the first ever black development on the Silk Road. Silk Road has a lot of history behind it. I won't go into it right now. Look it up. The new Silk Road stretches all the way from Africa into China, Europe, into Asia, connects the world, and this is the first time in absolute history that an African American has ever built a major development on the new Silk Road. Also, it's the first time an African American has ever built a development for African Americans on the Silk Road. Yep, everything that's in my box is right here. And it's not to be taken lightly what's in the box. Let me move it over. I'm going to share a little bit. Hold on. I'm asking you to share this video. You don't understand how historical this moment is. It's really big, really big. I'm going to say it like huge, huge. The truth is I'm stupid excited. I couldn't be more excited. Now, hold on. Let me open up another window because I want to share this. I'm just going to start getting this out a little bit. I want to share this with as many people as possible. And I'm recording it for dexterity as well. Let me share it over to our public page, to Freedom, the Voice of Freedom. I'm going to call it Generational Wealth Realized. First ever black-owned development on the new Silk Road. Right? Let's get it out there. Right? Let's get it out there. Help me out if you're here. I'm telling you, this is a historical moment. It's not to be taken lightly. You won't see it twice. I swear to you. I swear to God, you won't see it twice. Now, what's in my box? What's in my box? You can read the top, right? Can you read the top? There you go. You see it? It is Ahmeta Beta Sanova 1 Jalabla 1. Okay? Hayville. That's where I am. And hold on, let me turn this around. And I'm going to open this up. In here is literally 30.
All right, we're gonna go and forward a little bit because I want you to get up. We want to get to the juicy stuff that he's talking about because right now he's just
$1,000 worth of companies can always get around for years. We had to deal with, if you remember the 80s, the 90s, we had to deal with the fact that the big companies could do things that us small companies couldn't do, right? I mean, the big companies were able to go to China, buy things cheap, keep us out of the loop. We spent decades, at least 3, trying to figure out how to get to China, trying to get in there and buy our good stuff cheap so that we could sell. Not so we could buy cheap things, but so that we could even compete. It's all about black people competing. So that we could compete. Then, all of a sudden, everything changes. We finally get a bead. We get a little system so we will tell you how to go and buy product in Indonesia, China, other places. And then the world changes. And the whole global economy thing breaks down. And we know that those guys skip out. They go to Vietnam. They go other places. But those are just for the big guys. And once again, black people left out of being able to source from the places that would give us a competitive edge. Until now. And that's what's in the box. So, let's take it out piece by piece. I'm going to sit it over here. You can see it's an unimaginable amount of paper. But let's take the first one out. I want you to know what goes into trying to do a development on the other side of the world. We literally spent 1.5 years. I have literally dedicated more than $500,000 of my own personal money to get to this point.
And I would like to speak on that real quick and let you continue to listen. He hit it right on the dime, because that is the sacrifice that many of us do not really, on the real sense of it all, would like to do or willing to do. When it comes to money, for us as a people, we funny style. We're funny money. We're funny with the money. And we would not look into the future for legacy wealth, let alone in other areas of legacy ownership of land for our generations of our family to come. We're not even thinking about that when there are organizations that we might start to and get involved in our communities, and then we get jammed up because somebody else is taking the lead position, or somebody seems to be having more money or getting paid a little more or what have you, and not focusing on the sacrifices that we have to do as a whole, not just one person. But he mentioned how he has sacrificed, taken a major amount of portion of his money to get these things done, because he was looking into the future. He's a visionary. You understand? And I feel that. I kind of feel that. So let me let you go with the rest of the.
In addition to that, we spent $30,000 on what's in this box, and that is the papers. Yes, this is the first time I'm looking at it too. I haven't had the chance to look at it. You can see everything's written in Russian, right? Take a look at it. This is geo information and monitoring, because the space on the Chinese border is a what do you call it? Has a seismic factor. No major earthquakes, but it means that we have to do special geology testing. And you can see, let's grab it up. There's the actual location. If you can't see this right here, this is the Chinese side, and this is the Chinese-Kazakhstan border, right? That's the border. This is the beginning of the Silk Road. This paper is stamped and sealed by the geological company.
Now he's speaking about the Silk Road. It's the beginning of the Silk Road initiative, and I've listened to him. I'm part of the community of the Freedom Nation. I'm a citizen as well. But before I even got in, and it took me a little while before I got in to the Freedom Nation citizenship, which is like a membership pretty much, and that he explained this and he broke it down. He has videos that he's done before this one here, and he just gets into it now again because he's bringing the actual paperwork and documentation that is historically here for us to know things have been done, and now it's in order. Now people officially can go there that have the opportunity or are able to invest in that area right on the borderline of China. It's a free trading zone, China and Kazakhstan. Okay, and this is very, very, very significant. It's very, very lucrative. It is major, and he's made the power move there. He's made a power move, and that's the point.
Saying that our designs meet the standards necessary for us to be able to build on the Chinese border in the free trade zone. All right, let's go for the next one. And here's the next paper, right? It doesn't, I'm showing it to you, but it's inside of Russian. This is a geological study. We can look back over at the actual map and everything. But it's the geological study that we paid for that actually breaks down every single code in Kazakhstan, everything that we have to do in order to build this development.
And my thing is that I appreciate his transparency. That has been a problem with our people, and this is why people, our people in African American communities, when they start organizations, there's not enough transparency, And sometimes there ends up being nefarious acts, and people, find out about embezzlement or so forth, things that have happened, that money disappears, and that's where the mistrust comes in. So people don't want to really partake in the community, into these organizations starting in our community. That's B1, right? Black first, and trying to look out for African American or Black people, or people of color, brown people in those communities, because we're the people at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to financial position and financial status, especially. And finance is a major intricate part of having some freedom, having anything in life these days almost now, in order to be able to do things, to get things done, to be able to support your family, take care of your family, in order to travel, in order to get medical care. It's money. It's finance. So, this is why his topic, I think, or basic title of it is Generational Wealth Realized, if I can remember correctly.
And the most important part is, of course, the seal right there that proves that everything is sound, all of the designs are right. This is a lot, right? But I want to show it to you. I want to show you exactly what it takes, exactly what is there.
This is the transparency. He's showing everything, you see?
All right, I'm going to read the Russian a little bit, right? That says, I'm reading it backwards when it says, Passport Projekta. So it's the project passport, right? Project passport here. All the signatures. Let's see again. We have here Poyasito Dadvinaya Zaliska. Okay? That might not be anything to you, but let's look at what it is. This is, we'll just go to the pictures. The words don't mean a lot for us. Here's a development. There you go. There's a development. That's six 10,000 square foot buildings. That's 60,000 square feet, broken down into three. Each one, and I'll show you a little bit later, is broken down into 9 different units that are 1,000 square foot apiece, and they are meant holistically for African Americans to have a place to source from the region, to sell to the region, a real place. You have no idea. Since when have African Americans been able to have a center dedicated to them to sell into Asia? Sell into, not just source. Also take from them knowledge transfer, which means that learning how to manufacture, buying the equipment. You have no idea what a pivotal thing this is. This big old book, look at it. It's just one. This big old book. Woo! Okay. Smetnia. Document. Tell you, this is this document. Right? Woo! Yeah. That ain't a little bit of information. Let me tell you what this is. This is everything going into our building. This is all the structural analysis that shows that our building is sound. Tons of it, right? All the structural analysis, piece by piece, every single piece of rebar, every single piece of concrete, every single piece of everything, documented down to the T, where it's to be brought from, what its numbers are, everything right there, stamped and sealed. One thing you need to get permission to build. Here we go back in the box again. These things should be in duplicate. Yep. That should be the same thing. 1 copy is for me. 1 copy goes back to the city. All right, let's move it over. Somebody over the head with that. All right. Now let's look at the good stuff. This is the stuff that we're used to seeing, right? Let's make sure we don't. Right? These are the plans and the designs. Now you'll see Elim, right? Because what happens is the word Freedom Village in Russian language, if you use Freedom Village, it kind of means like cheap village. And we didn't want to cheapen our village. We know what it means to us, Freedom Village Cargos. But Elim is a word that's an acronym for a Kazakh theory around freedom. The level of freedom that we preach at Freedom Nation. Okay? And so it was better to use. So on some of our documentation, it says Elim. This is Freedom Village's project. You'll see it marked off, and here I'll show it to you. Let's take a look at what we're looking at. This looks like most of our, you can see it. All right, let me see if I can show this to you without, oh Lord, without tearing up anything. All right, this is the placement of all of our, let's see, we got that here. All right, this is the placement of all of the improvements to the land, as well as the plumbing tie-ins. Let's fit this back in here, make sure it doesn't crease or wrinkle or break. We have blocks A through E. You can.
Okay, I'm gonna speed that up a little bit. Let's see where we at. Okay, let's see. I think it's another one. Hold on.
And that's same thing, duplicate. Let's open up again. Matter of fact, let's do this if we can do it without destroying anything. Oh, here we go. Oh. Let's put the box on. And let's put our architectural drawings there. Listen, man. I don't want to make this small. This has been a Herculean effort. Like, really. You can't imagine the days that I've spent fighting people. I'm going to tell you something thorough and clear. We didn't bribe nobody. That's really important. You know, there's a lot of people who will force you to do things quick as long as you pay people off. We didn't bribe anybody. We didn't bribe a soul. Black people don't come and pay off nobody's pockets who don't benefit us. And this is the methodology I've set in place. This is the methodology I have put in place. Brother Lamar, what's happening, brother? What's happening, Mike? Kisa, assalamu alaikum. Nadeem, assalamu alaikum. Eric. This is the layout. Because as you can see, one of the responsibilities we have, we literally are laying out every single pipe, all the electricity on the land, even the connections back to the city are done by us. Everything. Absolutely everything.
And that's important that stuff is tied into the city, that you're actually a part of the city. Municipalities and all those regulations are in line. So then there's no, oh, okay, now we have to leave because we didn't pay this or we didn't sign this. And, you know, we do things half A or half cop. Or no, actually, I don't want to say those terms. They can be derogatory. But you know what I mean? We're doing things halfway. We're not getting things done fully and professionally. And that's what I like about him. And Faruq, mashallah, he's done a great job in that area. And his staff, the people that he have working with him, all shout outs to them too. Because if it wasn't for them, his staff, his team, and everyone needs a team, a good team to work to get things done and be progressive. And this is what we need as people. We have to learn these qualities and learn how to replicate them and teach them to our children and teach them to the youth so that they can take it into the future and be more progressive and successful in these areas. And I really appreciate him. The video is coming to a close end, so I'm going to try to push it up a little bit past this, and so we can see what else we got here. He's reading some of the plans, I think, and so we'll go into this and see what's here, and then we'll.
Called coastal that this is done under, right? This is done under coastal manufacturing. Okay, and let's go more. Let's look more. All right, can you see that? That's good. I'm going to leave that here. There's a lot of documents here.
Yeah, we'll push on. Hold on, I'm try to get as much as I can.
Building on the Shanghai port. This is more massive than you can imagine. And I wanted to really share this with you. And I know some of it's a little bit confusing, and I show you these documents here. Those are all the plumbing. They're upside down. The plumbing documents are plumbing tie-ins. It's going to cost us about $50,000, and we're going to put $50,000 in to grade the site, and we're going to build these buildings actually 1, 2, 3, 4. We have block A, B, C, D.
It's more planned stuff. Let's see where else we can go. I want to go to where he's
window treatments and everything. These are windows that can be.
And he touches on the things.
That one's missing a staple. I'll be very careful with this. All right, hold on. All right, that's missing a staple.
Funny guy.
Then let's look at this one. All right, this is all the heaters. It gets cold in Kazakhstan. So there you go. That's all your radiators and your heaters. All of the water. There's a huge steam manufacturing plant right inside of the...
What he's doing here is showing you the proof. He's being transparent. He's showing us as a people getting it done. You understand what I'm saying? And documented proof. Because a lot of us still are skeptical with each other. Even today in 2023, skeptical about doing business, by doing any organization type of, function of producing and being productive as a people, coming together and organizing our efforts, organizing our skills, our professional skills, or just our minds. Sometimes that's a problem because people are on whatever page they want to be on, and they, get into conflictive ideas, and then they don't want to deal with each other. So they're skeptical in that aspect, like, well, he's going to try to run me and control me, all this type of stuff. And when proof comes out, or I don't trust him, what is he doing? What is his ulterior motives? Does he have ulterior motives? This is the thing. But this breaks a lot of that monotonous, skepticism that some of us may have. And I really like that. I really like that.
Cargos that pump steam into the building, and now this basically says where all of those radiators go that use that steam to keep you nice and warm and toasty. Don't want no one to freeze. No black folks don't like freezing. You got to keep everybody warm and tight. You know what I'm saying? Got to keep it right. And there you go. There's our plumbing. You look at it. That's our plumbing for the whole building. And bada bing. That's every system. Plumbing. Okay, we're going to put this backwards so it's in the right stack. 1, 2, 1. And my brothers and sisters, this is what it takes to build just 6 buildings, but 1 development in Kazakhstan. And it represents a year and a half, almost 2 years worth of work, and a lot of sweat, and a lot of time. And quite frankly, I had some points where I thought that it might not be worth it. But holding in my hand all the permits, all the plans, all the documentation needed to build, In addition to that, I have on the wall over there, you can't see it, everything that's needed. We have 20 acres in the free trade zone. We have 20 acres in the free trade zone on the border with China. We have 20 acres in a free trade zone that's connected by train to one of the world's largest cotton and apparel manufacturing industries in Uzbekistan, to direct ports and access to Gwadar in Pakistan that lead out of Pakistan directly into Djibouti in Africa and directly into Egypt, that connects on roads that get us into Kenya, that get us into South Africa.
So again, like I said earlier, the my mind just got stuck right there. Silk Road Initiative, reestablishing the Silk Road functions that went on in ancient times. I mean, with our history as Africans or African descendants, we are actually, but our ancestors, what some of them have done and traveled on those routes, and bartered and traded as merchants and so forth. And then the Asians there themselves, the Orientals, whatever, whether they're Chinese, Japanese, so forth, Korean, however, whoever, India, and even parts of Russia, but all the way through there, even into Europe. After Africa these routes are entered into Africa first, and it goes into Europe, let alone going into the West, which later happened here in America, much later. But it's major. So just to let you know, and we'll leave it at that. I'll close out and let you listen to the rest as much as I possibly can, because we're into 30 minutes or so already. So let's listen.
In every country in between, we have 20 acres and a full facility for our businesses that allow us access to the Middle East to sell whatever we like.
You hear that? To sell, not just to get from them and buy from them, but for us to also our products we manufacture and we sell to them, and we're doing an even share of a bartering, in a sense of when it comes to business. That's what business was originally first. Bartering system. It's trading. This is what we know. People buying from you and you buying from them. That's it. So anyway, let's go. Let's let it go.
We have 20 acres and facility to be able to manufacture whatever we like with low cost goods, low cost workers, and to share knowledge. We have excellent partners that help to facilitate this, that are here to facilitate you and make things work. You have a full office and monitoring facility, 2,000 square feet in the center of the economic center, the Wall Street of Central Asia, which we set that up to. We have all of that now, today. I really want to share this with you. This is 5 years of my life.
And I have shared it with you. And we're going to close out right there with the brother. Okay. So I appreciate you guys listening. You know, it's major. I will put in the description the link to this video, which is I think he did it in Facebook. Yeah, I'm sure. And another brother by the name of Yassine Ahmed, which is a good close brother to me. I've known him for years, and I have been indulging in business maneuvers and business transactions with my brother, alhamdulillah, and he's a very good, trustworthy brother in that aspect. He posted the video up in Facebook, so shout outs to him, Yassine, and thanks, bro. I appreciate you, as well as Faruq. Appreciate you, bro, and everybody with Freedom Nation, even Freedom Nation here in America, which was the first initial community, Freedom Nation Village, Freedom Village, Georgia, and then eventually the brother and his team went out and ventured and established Freedom Nation Kyrgyz, Kazakhstan, right out there in Eastern Asia, or whatever, Southern Asia, and so forth, like around that area of China, as it is. They border China, and it's near Russia and so forth, like that. And you know, there's a catalyst there, and the catalyst, and I'm gonna leave off at that, is the BRICS nations. My videos. I have some of my videos that I deal with this, and I will be dealing with this more about the BRICS nations, which are a lot of the controversy and discussions in mainstream media, as well as other all types of media, social media as well, speaking about the shifting of how the financial situation is going globally in the world, from the West domination, Western domination, especially with America, with the American dollar, and how it's being de-dollarized, you know, and people are leaving off from using it anymore and going to the East. And the East are coming together in these nations known as BRICS. And you can look into that, look that up, Google it if you don't know. But I do have videos in my other channel, Crypto B-Boy 6149. Okay, you can check me out there, and you can look in some of those videos there. But also, I will be doing them on this channel. So I appreciate you guys listening and being here with me. I'm sorry the video went a little long, but it was worth it. And like I said, stay with us, stay with me. Don't forget to subscribe from with your brother, and also listen to his video if you want to. The full video, I will put it in a link, or I put the link in the description. The better to say correctly, that you can also go in and look at it through Facebook. Hopefully, it should be able to load up for you, and you should be able to enjoy it. And he's a really charismatic speaker as well. You know, he's a cool dude. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for listening. Until next time, this is your brother Talib from the Brother Talib Show. Peace and blessings, and keep up the lessons. Assalamu alaikum.